I were a new player, which of these fighting games should I get into for my first fighter? Street Fighter 6, KOF 13 with the rollback. I know it's not necessarily new, but it's upcoming. And then Virtua Fighter 5 Ultimate Showdown or Tekken 8.
Yeah, I mean, my real answer is you should try them all. But if you held a gun to my head and said you have to pick one, Juice, I regrettably will have to say Street Fighter 6. I say regrettably because I know deep down in my heart that Virtua Fighter will teach you more, and KOF 13 will be the most beautiful game you've ever seen. But like, Street Fighter 6 is in a prime position to be the fighting game for the new generation. So I'm an 09er, then there were like 012ers, and then there's like some 022ers and all that other fun stuff. The way that we would talk about new generations of people coming in. Street Fighter 6 is probably going, assuming it performs as well as it looks and the way it's being presented, it's probably going to get rave reviews at all the major outlets. It's probably going to go on discount within a couple of months of coming out. Capcom was going to make it easy to play the game. You might remember that they experimented with Street Fighter 5 with like free-to-play weekends. I feel like they're going to be very aggressive with that with Street Fighter 6. Get it right on PS Plus, make another free-to-play weekend on this, that, and the other. Get it on Game Pass. Get it in everyone's hands because Street Fighter 6 is positioned to be a fun single-player experience for people that have all those gripes that we've been talking about.
Yeah.
But for people like us who care about this crap, it also has awesome rollback netcode. I was in both betas. It's amazing. It shows you the ping and the rollback frames and the jitter in real time. Like, it has working cross-play on day one, has a bunch of interesting and cool characters. Like, all the returning characters are redesigned and have lots of interesting changes to their move list. The drive system is genius. It's amazing. Street Fighter 6 has everything that a new fighting game player would want. Very critically, it's going to function as a product, and also it looks amazing, and it will have plenty of other beginners to play with. Like, it gives you a chance to be creative with making your avatar and stuff. It just has all that extra stuff that makes a $60 game worth buying.
So creative.
Virtua Fighter 5 Ultimate Showdown doesn't, but you should play it because it's better. And you should play KOF 13 because that's better in its own way. Like, every game is better in its own way. I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's okay.
What about Tekken?
Every game is special.
And to be clear, I'm a huge fan of Street Fighter 6, but I'm a huge fan of lots of different fighting games at this point. Tekken is there are people who exist who think that Street Fighter 6 doesn't look good, and they will probably enjoy the way that Tekken 8 looks. I don't think I've heard anyone who says I hate the way both these games look. Okay, fine. But Tekken is still a unique and fun and deep fighting game, and I'm actually very curious about where the story is going to go. June is finally back. Heihachi's finally dead, and that's going to be kind of interesting. Tekken 8, honestly, I feel like is sort of looking to be a little weak in terms of as a product and features when you compare it directly with 6. So I'm curious if, we're going to get more modes. They're going to bring back Tekken Force, or something. Something along those lines.
Give me some Tekken Force. I'm in.
But yeah, the actual real answer to that question is Street Fighter 6.
Yeah.
Asterisk, but play them all.
Play them all. Yeah.
But play them all because you want to try them, and it might turn out you really, 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 really love playing as Ash and doing these 2-minute long combos in KOF 13, the most beautiful sprite-based fighting game ever made.
Is two things. Is 13 gonna replace 15 for you when it comes out, you think? Maybe for a moment.
Probably for a moment. 13 is important to me because it was the game that got me into the series in general. After 13, I played a bunch of old games, and I've been playing the new ones. And we can say that the game is imbalanced. We can say that there's clearly a top tier or whatever, but that's not important. What's important to me is that the game is beautiful. I love the music. I love the characters and the cast. I will run through the trial mode again and explain how all the combos work again. And I just have a blast with it. Because of KOF 13, I met Matador, who lives in Vegas, and that's like I really, really love all the times that I've gone out there to play with him and we've exchanged information on the game. And KOF 13 put me in a position where I could even pretend to play KOF 14 and 15 competitively. You know, I don't think I'm really a top KOF player nowadays. I feel like I don't practice enough, or I'm not like I'm not putting enough pressure on myself to practice and improve. So, you know, I got top 8 at CEO, but I also know that on another day, if I didn't feel as well or if I had a different bracket, I would not have gotten top 8 at CEO. So when it comes to competitively KOF 15, I'm pretty good at the game. I'm not sure if I'm pushing it. I'm not sure how hard I'm going to practice it, but I know that it's appealing to me to revisit KOF 13, to teach that game to people who will be interested, to see how good the rollback is. You know, if there will be maybe a tournament or two for it, maybe I'll enter it. But I have a very deep appreciation for 13, so I'm definitely going to play it a lot when it gets re-released. And you know, I'm gonna try and alternate my time. I still want to play and teach 15 a bit as well, but you know, 13 is a very important and nostalgic game for me, so I'm gonna put aside time for it.
I suppose the other thing that has been a huge theme throughout this entire episode that has become abundantly clear is how unique and interesting Yu Suzuki is as a person. I know this sounds strange, but when you explained Virtua Fighter and take it beyond that and everything he's created, he has a very interesting way of looking at the world and even making video games. I really wanted to say that, especially with like how he takes fighting games and he makes it something completely different. I think is just video games. It's completely fascinating. So
yeah,
if you guys don't know who Yu Suzuki is, you should definitely look into him and yeah, really fascinating guy. I suppose next